Shout out to the man, the myth, the legend, Brendan Slaughter, for picking Enter Sandman as an intro song to this late night edition of the fifth quarter. He knew what he was doing, because that is, say your prayers, little one. Sleep with one eye open. Grip your pillow tight. That's definitely what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. You ever see like the Tom and Jerry meme, where he's sitting there and he's trying to get his eyelids open by taping them to his forehead? That's about how I feel right now. 11 o'clock, because it was an 8 p.m. tip. NBC in town. The Blazers getting the national TV coverage. Everybody watching. And you know what? Even shorthanded, they looked good for a minute. No Drew Holiday tonight as he's nursing an injury. No Jeremy Grant, who was a late scratch due to an illness. Chris Murray gets the start for your Blazers tonight. Starting lineup was Chris Murray, Tumani Kamara, Donovan Clegan, Shaden Sharp, and Denny Avdia. That left the bench pretty depleted, so you knew that it was going to be a rough game, and through the first half it looked pretty good, and then in the second half I think the minutes caught up, the fatigue caught up, and the Blazers just ran out of gas. Welcome in to the fifth quarter. Chris Burkhardt here with you. If you want to join the conversation, 503-248-0620 is telephone number. Of course, you go to youtube.com, type in Rip City Radio 620, and we got a new fancy way for you to chime in and chat with us, and that is the text line. You can text us here at Rip City Radio at 88528. In fact, you should probably do that instead of calling. I apologize to my producer, Brendan. He and I talked about this pregame. The phones are not working tonight. Got our engineer on it. He will fix them. So if you're trying to call and you can't get through, that is why. So hit up the text line. 88528 is the number. And, of course, youtube.com. Type in Rip City Radio and join the chat there. So let's take a look at what happened tonight for your Portland Trail Blazers. Right out of the gate, the Suns tried to put it on them. They got out to a quick 16-7 lead. Blazers called time with about 8 minutes left in the first quarter. They answered with a quick 7-2 run of their own, and things were good there. Phoenix was up 35-32 after one. Caleb Love, he had 11 points in the first quarter. The Blazers were sticking with the Suns. In the second quarter, Young Hansen Mania took over as Young got into the game after being recalled from the Rip City remix, and let me tell you what, he actually looked pretty darn good tonight. And the Blazers were battling. They were answering every little mini run that Phoenix had with one of their own. They went into the locker room thanks to a late three-pointer by Denny Avdia, trailing 64-61. Not too bad. Caleb Love, 13 points at the half. Shaden Sharp had 20. Denny had 12. Devin Booker led the Suns with 13. Then in the third quarter, unfortunately, the wheels did fall off for your Portland Trail Blazers. They were outscored by the Phoenix Suns, 36-21 in the quarter. The Blazers shot 5 of 22, good for just 22% from the field in that quarter. Meanwhile, Phoenix shot 14 of 26, good for 53.8. That quarter definitely was the unraveling. And in the fourth quarter, they tried. I mean, the game was out of hand. They outscored the Suns 28-27, but when you get outscored by that 15-point margin in the third quarter, and this team just lacks the offensive power to get back into these type of games, they just didn't have it defensively. I think it came back to what we were talking about pregame. Effort there, but just not making some smart plays. I actually thought Tumani Kamara was trying his best, and he was going everywhere. Sometimes the other four players on the court just weren't moving like him, so it made it kind of rough. Let's take a look at the box score, starting with the Phoenix Suns. Ryan Dunn had 9 points. Royce O'Neal had 9 points. 15 points from Mark Williams. 12 points from Dylan Brooks. Devin Booker had 19 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists. Colin Gillespie had 19 points off of the bench. 14 from Oso Ighodaro, and 10 points from Jordan Goodwin. On the Blazers side of things, Chris Murray in the rare start, he had 3 points on 1 of 4 shooting. That was a three-pointer. 6 points from Tumani Kamara, who struggled from the field tonight. 2 of 10, just 2 of 9 from 3-point range, despite the fact that, friend of the show, JJ definitely swore that he hit one from the corner. He did not. Box score does not lie. 9 points from Donovan Clingan to go along with 12 rebounds and 5 block shots, which was more than the Suns had in total. 19 points from Denny Avdia, and Shaden Sharp led all scorers with 29 points. On the Trailblazers bench, Sidi Sissoko had 8 points, 4 points for Robert Williams in just 8 minutes. Caleb Love actually had a pretty darn good game. He was 7 of 14 from the floor, 3 of 8 from beyond the arc. He had 17 points. And, of course, Blazer fans, I think, loved the fact that they got to see 13 minutes of action from Young Hansen. He had 9 points, 3 assists, 5 rebounds, and a block shot. Final score, though, 127-110 in favor of the favor of the Suns, excuse me. Once again, if you want to join the conversation, head to youtube.com, type in Rip City Radio, join the conversation there, and, of course, head on over to the new fancy text line. Grab your phone, save the number 88528. Send us your texts, even though I know how Rip City feels. And Rip City, a lot of people are probably sleeping right now. I'm exhausted. You're exhausted. And guess what? They get to do it again tomorrow. They get to do it again tomorrow against a very good Chicago Bulls team. The Chicago Bulls team maybe not playing as well as they were to start the season, but still good enough to win some ball games. All right, taking a look at the YouTube chat. Ignatius says, watching from Boone. Yeah, I know you are. I know you are, even though you really aren't. You guys have really, you're taking on this like college football 26 role play just a little too far. Okay, I am hosting this show from Waikiki Beach then. The Blazers running out of gas without a steering wheel, says Sean. Yeah, that's not a bad way of putting it, man. It's just the depth is hard. Like, I know that we want this team to play well. I know you want this team to win, but you do have to be realistic. I thought Tiago Splitter kind of said it best at the end of the night in his post-game presser, talking about like a lot of the guys getting big minutes tonight are guys that are developmental players. Like they are guys that they're still trying to bring along and get ready and get into NBA shape, so to speak. Caleb Love being one, Young Hansen being one, Ryan Rupert being another. Even mentioned Shaden Sharp is still the guy that, yeah, he gets out there and he takes 24 shots and he leads the team in scoring, but he's still part of that young core that they're developing. And so when you take that depth out, that definitely hurts. It's going to be hard. And then when you have no point guard to run the offense, it's going to hurt even more. Dennis says the Blazers didn't have any gas to start. Well, then the Fumes did a good job carrying them. Because again, I thought they did good in the first quarter. They did good in the second. It was that whole second half was just deflating. Is a good way of putting it. And at some point too, the 3-pointers not falling, they need to deviate from that. Not just because it's costing them points because they're not hitting shots, but how many long rebounds was Phoenix getting that led to just easy dunks on the other side because they're getting the rebound at half court, shots missing, and boom, big bounce, and there you go. And of course, there was plenty of air balls too. It was just not great. SpongeBob says, "Hello, I am Victor from Turkey. You guys need Simon's offense." I don't think he's coming back. Not coming back anytime soon. It'd be nice to have him right now. But also, it'd be nice to have the guy that you got for him in Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday has been absolutely great. And then JJ, I knew if I sent you the link to our YouTube page, you'd like, share, subscribe, and get in the chat. That's what friends do. That's what friends do. We still need to play a game of college football. I need to coach you up. I need to feel good about myself, show UConn how to run a dominating offense. I'm going to teach you one day, my friend. I'm going to teach you. All right, this is the fifth quarter. I am your host, Chris Burkhardt. Once again, you can join the chat. Just head on over to youtube.com, type in Rip City Radio, and you can go to our new fancy text line. Just hit up 88528. Send us your text over there. Save the number under your friendly neighborhood post-game host. You'll know who it is. You'll know who it is. This is the fifth quarter. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to hit you with our drive of the night, our shot of the night. Still got Coach's Corner to get to. Continue to wrap this show up and head to bed because I'm tired. I know you are too, Rip City. Got to get rest up because you got another game tomorrow. This is the fifth quarter on your home of the Blazers, Rip City Radio, 620.
If you
All right, break time. Yeah, Spider-Man references. You like that, Ignatius? What's up? Thank you. Now you get the behind-the-scenes conversations that we have on commercial breaks. Yep, Spam Musubi's trend is over. Probably 'cause I was unappreciative today, calling you a bum. Oh. Maybe I ruined the Spam Musubi magic with so much Spam Musubi over the week. I had a lot. Darn Islander in me. I'm so tired. I need to get my contacts out. I need to get home. Rough game though. Rough game. Can't win user games. You went home to play. Nice. Nice. Whoa, whoa, whoa. All right, I'm going to take a quick little break, fam. Go find a quick drink of water. A few minutes left in this break. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back into the fifth quarter. Chris Burkhardt here with you. Breaking down this tough Blazers loss to the Phoenix Suns. Speaking of which, shout out to friend of the show, Zach from Phoenix, who moved to Seattle, who came down to Portland to watch the Trailblazers play. He's like, hey, can you open up the phone line so I can call? I keep getting a busy signal. And I said, no, our phones aren't working tonight. The one night he'd call in because they played the Suns. Zach is a great dude, and get a good story of how you can meet fans and have a good time. And I was just sitting courtside, had my mic with me, and he asked what I did, and we just started talking. Next thing you know, he's listening to the fifth quarter, calling in, and having some fun. So shout out, Zach. I was hoping you'd call, too. I was like, oh, they're playing the Suns. You were the first guy I thought of. And then, unfortunately, the phones decided to just, say, we're not going to work today. The text line does work, though. Hit it up, 88528. I have a feeling there's a few numbers I'm going to have to block eventually. With great power comes great responsibility. Oh, my gosh. Because the graphic on YouTube is just the graphic. Like, it's there all the time. I need that there so you guys all know the number all the time so that when the phones do work, you know who to call. Yeah. SpongeBob says, you know what I'm saying is if Simons is back, we can have a good offense, man. That's all. Hey, if Simons were here, yeah, you wouldn't have the problems that you had tonight. You'd have a good shooter. You'd have a good ball handler. You would have a lot of stuff, but it doesn't necessarily fix all your problems. That's the unfortunate part. Like, I think you look at what this team wants to try to do in the long run, and wanting Simons back right now over what you got might just be a little short-sighted. I think Drew Holiday is a good value piece, especially if he continues to play like he's been playing this season. You have Scoot Henderson, who's going to come in and be the backup point guard as soon as he's healthy, and hopefully the point guard of the future. You have shooting and on the bench right now in Damian Lillard. He's just not healthy. And, of course, there'll be some more moves throughout the season and off season that continue to build the roster. I just don't think that Anthony Simons would be the answer right now. You'd just be right where you were last year, and it wasn't really the answer last year either. Weldon says Caleb Love is poverty. Anthony Simons. It is. Hey, Caleb Love is he's a good ball player, man. I joke about him because he's never seen a shot he doesn't like, but I also love that about him. I think we've seen plenty of players in the league timid, not wanting to shoot, right? And sometimes you can't teach that. There was the highlight playing the other day on social media of J.J. Redick literally like yelling at Bronny to shoot the dang ball. And Caleb Love doesn't have that problem, and he's a scorer, man. He's got that mentality. I love that about him. Yeah, of course, you're going to have off nights. It's the NBA, but I love the fact that he's not afraid to go play offensively. Tall Tim says, big picture, trying to implement a new defense and offensive scheme while each player trying to increase their roles. Already derailed with Scoot's injury. Now the train is loose as a goose, and that's a great point, Tall Tim. And Coach Splitter talks about that after the game, just the fact that with so many people out and having these different guys in, you have to kind of adjust yourself. They're not all the same. Caleb Love doesn't play like Blake Wesley. Blake Wesley doesn't play like Drew Holiday, right? Ryan Rupert doesn't play like Matisse Thybulle. So when those guys are out, it adjusts everything about how your team's going to play. And then you obviously lose some depth in certain places, which is why you run out of gas. So, yeah, it's absolutely loose. And I've said this a few times now, and I'll reiterate it, but we talked all offseason long about how big of a year this was for Scoot Henderson, how he really needed to take the jump and prove that he could be that guy. I don't know about that anymore. I don't think he even needs to take the jump. I think right now you're seeing how important Scoot Henderson is, and he hasn't even played a game. Because one of the things this team is missing so much right now is just a guy that can hold the ball, carry the ball, move the ball, push the ball. Like, run the offense. Like, he doesn't even have to go out and score 30 points. He just needs to run the offense. Pretty simple. So, yeah, you're seeing value there. Zach, get it right. If you're going to get in the YouTube chat, get it right, okay? You're not Zach from Seattle. You're Zach from Phoenix who moved to Seattle, who once drove to Portland to watch the Trailblazers play. It is a nickname I gave you, and it is a nickname I will never forget. But he says I was a certified Dylan Brooks hater, but it's true what they say. You hate him unless he's on your team. Also 9 points and 5 blocks from Klingon. Great to see. Zach, I will tell you this, man. I am a firm believer of, you hate that guy until he's on your team. I think like Blazer fans for the longest time, oh, I hate James Harden. I would never want him on my team. Yeah, well, if James Harden was on your team, dropped him 50 pieces on people while throwing 20 dimes, you'd probably like him. Oh, I hate Draymond Green. I would never want him on my team. Yeah, if he was wearing a uniform for you and being the cog that, makes the engine run, I think you'd like him a lot. So Dylan Brooks is kind of that guy. He's annoying. He's annoying, but you know what? That's just how he plays, and he plays it well. He's kind of the NBA villain, and the NBA needs that. They absolutely need that. And I apologize that the phone lines are out of whack today, Zach, because I don't know if you heard me chatting, but I was like, man, they're playing the Suns. My guy Zach's going to call in. And you know what? He wanted to. I need to catch up. I haven't talked to you since last season. Weren't we supposed to have like baby news and stuff? Like I need to know what's going on in my man's world. What you need to do, Zach, is you need to get back down to Moda Center for a game so we can say hi again, my friend. So thank you for chiming in. Everyone else, the nonstop wrestling references in the end of the show are funny. Jason, the Blazers are struggling, but they're young. We've got key players injured. I think are going to be better as the year goes on and guys get healthy. Jason, I do believe that this team is going through learning pains right now. That's how do you play through these positions? How do you go through and play on defense and offense and exert the amount of energy that the coach is asking you to exert this year? Like, there's a lot of different variables there. And, I mean, you look at the play by Denny Avdia and Dallas, that step back three that most people are like, that was a terrible shot. Like, I definitely think that's one of those things that he's learning from, right? And I think that is going to play out throughout the year. Now Zach's out here correcting me. Zach from Phoenix, who lives in Seattle, who drove to Portland to watch the Thunder play. Okay, I like that. I might like that better. It gives me another team to talk about. Or you could say you came to watch the ghost of the Seattle Supersonics. All right, we're going to take a quick little break here on the fifth quarter. When we come back, we're going to hit you with the Coach's Corner here from head coach Tiago Splitter. We'll hand out a game ball, and then we'll get out of here. See if we can get out of here before tomorrow. And I don't say that jokingly. I mean that literally. Tomorrow is in 25 minutes. These 8 o'clock tips are something else. But before we do, it's time for Brendan to hit you with our shot of the night.
The Coors Light Studios. Coors Light. Mountain cold refreshment. Choose chill. Time for the fifth quarter shot of the night on your home of the Portland Trailblazers. 620 Rip City Radio.
Cross-court passes. He finds Sissoko. Fleming's all over. Dribbles right. He attacks. Dumps it off to Hansen. Dunks it in. That's a great drive and feed from Sissoko.
taking down the Trailblazers rough 127-110 loss to the Phoenix Suns, and they get to get right back to action tomorrow against the Chicago Bulls. But I want to hear what Tiago Splitter had to say about it, so let's head to the Coach's Corner.
For the latest on tonight's game, we head to the Coach's Corner with Tiago Splitter, live from the Coors Light Studios. Coors Light, mountain cold refreshment. Choose chill.
It was frustrating. I think it's difficult to play the way we want to play. We don't have the energy to play fast how we want, so we getting slower and slower. We have to play guys that literally in a development role right now. We have a lot of guys, even Shea, shooting 24 shots a game. He's still developing and, learning from this every day. Same with Danny, like how can he be consistent every night? And you go with the least, Caleb Love getting 32 minutes. And so all of those guys, they learning. This is a process. And, it's going to be like this for some games now where we got to understand what's going on. So it's frustrating, but we got to also look at the other side, like how they getting better at it.
You guys just kind of run out of gas in the third quarter. Third quarter seemed like it was kind of the backbreaker.
Yeah, I think it was maybe more emotional than legs type of thing. They got a couple of runs there on us. We didn't have a response, and kind of like gave up.
With so many people sidelined and somehow shorthanded, is that going to change the way team plays, or is it going to change any plan?
Well, we have different players. We're probably going to play different. We probably got to go there, watch film, and how can we play better defensively with this team? How can we play offensively better? And then not much time to work out, to be honest. Like tomorrow is another game. We can't go and practice tomorrow morning or do anything like crazy. It's more like watch film. This is what we can do better. This is how can we attack better, defend better, and just try to find, juice out of them, to be honest.
Who is the MVP tonight for the Trailblazers? It's time for Game Balls on Fifth Quarter, live from the Coors Light Studios. Coors Light, choose chill.
All right, time to hand out a game ball, and this one's pretty simple. I'm handing the game ball out to Young Hansen. Young Hansen was incredible tonight. He played 13 minutes. He looked much better, quite honestly, than he did early in the season. And, yeah, he only, like I said, played that handful of minutes. He only had, 9 points. He had 5 rebounds, 3 assists. But I think anytime you get a little Young Hansen mania up in here, it's always fun. And, gosh, the crowd was ready to just watch him go ham because anytime he touched the ball, they exploded. They exploded. There was a three-pointer that if he would have hit, they would have just absolutely gone off. People stood up and they were ready to go, and it just didn't go in. But I thought it was a great game overall by Young Hansen. And also shout out to Zach, because I said I need a dad update. He said the twins are 7.5 months old. Twins? Ah, boy, look at you. That's some work right there. Being a dad's pretty much the greatest job on the planet. I'll tell you that. My three girls keep me grounded, and it's absolutely phenomenal. Timmy says Chris is reading the chat, going, "Quote: These idiots are taking over my stream chat again." No, usually I just say you're the idiot. That's pretty simple. The chat belongs to the people. I do not own the chat. The chat belongs to the people. Just don't make me ground you, because I do have that ability. Don't make me use it. With great power comes great responsibility. Don't know how many Spider-Man puns I threw in there today, but there's been quite a few. All right, guys, I'm just being honest with you. I've been at work since 8 o'clock this morning. I'm seeing triple, okay? I'm seeing triple. I don't know what day it is. I don't even know what time it is. I don't believe my clocks. Everything's a blur. I think it's time to get out of here. I think it's time to go to bed. These 8 o'clock tips, not a friend to this old man. Let me tell you what. Especially when you get to do it again tomorrow, because the Blazers will be in action tomorrow against the Chicago Bulls. Tip-off not at 8 p.m. Tip-off at its normal time, 7 p.m. So I'll have Blazers game day for you at the ripe old time, 5 o'clock in the afternoon. It'll be fun. I think it's going to be a rough one for the Blazers. Chicago's a good team. They are talented enough to get this win. And with the Blazers playing the way they are right now, with the injuries and being shorthanded, it's definitely going to be tough for them to get this win. And keep in mind, you didn't hear it there in the postgame presser, but Coach Thiago Splitter did say that he doesn't think that Drew Holiday will play tomorrow. Things could change over the next, I guess, basically, 16 hours or whatever it is before they start, showing up to the arena again. But he probably won't play. Jeremy, probably a game time decision as well. He was just dealing with an illness today, something you might be able to recover from a little bit quicker. But without, your number one bench scorer, your number one ball handler, things get tough. And so that's what happened tonight as your Blazers fall to the Suns, 127-110. Once again, they'll be back in action tomorrow, 7 o'clock tip against the Chicago Bulls. Which there's always something about the Bulls versus Blazers that feels right. It makes me just want to plug in my Super Nintendo, insert that cartridge, and go ham on some old school SNES basketball. Let's have some fun. All right, Rip City, sleep well, my friends. I'll talk to you tomorrow.